gentlemen, welcome back to a Beyond the Summit presentation of the AMD Premier League. We are in the grand finals. It is going to be a best of 5 between Tongfu and Zenith. It has been a couple of short weeks, but now we are here. I am Luminous. I'm joined by Gods for this grand final cast, and it should be an exciting matchup because I feel like these two teams are very even in skill level. Maybe Zenith perhaps a little bit more individual skill, but Tongfu really on top of it with their picks and plays as well. So this should be a great one.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This Tongfu roster finally seems to be working. They've had some issues, but they've had some great results. They now got a direct invite to TI3, and I mean, you look at
air quote, direct invite.
Yeah, air quote. You look at this roster, and it's a damn scary stacked roster. I think it's one of those teams where it's sort of like, it reminds me a lot of DK, where you look at them and you're like, oh my gosh, these players, like, this is a ridiculously stacked lineup. You have Hao and Carry, Mu, one of the best solo mids. You've got King J there now, Banana, who's like an all-star in China. It's a stacked roster. They have to get the results. They have to make sure that everything works and fits together, though. And they're up against Team Zenith, who are kind of known for tearing teams apart, like finding ways to beat them when they shouldn't.
Yeah, and Zenith is actually, in my opinion, one of the Chinese slayers, especially coming in from the C team. You know, they scrim against IG a lot, they beat IG in scrims a lot, and I'm sure that's the same for a lot of the other Chinese teams in scrim. They play on a different axis, I feel like, and that axis matches quite well against some of the more standard Chinese playstyle, which is kind of a very slow but steady type of aggression that Chinese are playing nowadays. Magnus is going to be the first pick, and how many other Singaporean girls you got, Alistair? Guys, you're like...
She's tied. Okay. I had Ice messaging me. He was asking if it was best of 5.
Yes, it is a best of 5, right?
Yeah, I'm telling him. He's like, all right, nice. We try stuff then.
Okay. All right.
I'm egging on Ice. I'm gonna have some like insight into their draft.
Okay. You could, you know, let us know if they third pick a Ricky or something. And be like, yeah. This is, you know, exactly what we're.
I'm telling him to give me the scoop so I sound smart on stream. I shouldn't have spoiled that to the stream bet.
Well, now we all know that you're not talking to a tiger as well, and I think that's the saddest part.
Ice is just as beautiful in his own ways.
He really is. Which, by the way, I do wanna. I'm not sure if anybody else seen this message, but there was one time he was actually streaming, and he was actually filling out his compendium. Which, if you guys haven't purchased it, I heavily urge you to do so. And for the All-Star match, he had a very kind of deep thinking look in his face. And in the actual picture, all 10 players were Ice. So that really speaks Ice for you to recommend all 10 players for himself.
Yeah. And his facial expression, like it was so completely serious, considering all the options. Like Ice. Yeah.
I think he's pretty good. All right, back to the draft here. Tongfu's going to pick up Lone Druid and Leshrac as well as Magnus. So a lot of tower sieging going on. And we're going to see a Southern East Asian special, the Tinker, just as good as Lone Druid is at tower pushing. This guy is really good at tower defense, especially against Lone Druid. I'm very surprised that a lot of the Western team really haven't caught on this one. But Endless Blind to a Lone Druid, yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah, and it's a hero that both Yamate and XY play amazingly well. So maybe it's XY playing the carry role, the gyrocopter. It seems to be where he's been headed most recently. But either way, it's a scary duo. Having the Tinker up against... I think it's almost like one of those Chinese Slayer heroes as well. It does really well against the Chinese teams.
Yeah, it's just a hero that on paper is almost unfair to look at. He's global, okay? He could defend everything. He could also push everything. Oh, by the way, he could also pick off your support extremely easily. Why not, right? I think yesterday, in the Western qualifier, we see Miguel play Tinker, and he went on the full Blink Dagon build, which was absolutely spectacular. I think they won their match, but hey, it just show off the power of this particular hero.
All right, we're not getting Meepo, apparently.
Okay, you
I
confirmed it?
Well, not this game. Future games, maybe. He says, oh, there's too much AoE this game.
Okay, fair. You know, Magnus and the Shrek is a little bit hard to deal with.
Yeah. Okay, later on, I demand a Meepo at some point during this best of 5.
Can we demand an Invoker too? I think that's an easier hero to work into the draft.
Yeah, chat, let us know. Ice is taking requests for the draft in the grand finals of the AMD Premier League. Just to be clear, the grand finals here, and right. Ice is taking community requests for picks.
Put me in for Invoker.
Tweet at him. I think it's Ice Dota. Let him know what you want him to pick. And
okay, fair enough.
He'll take into consideration.
Is Tongfu taking any consideration? Do they swing this way or no?
I don't think so.
Oh,
They're
man.
Chinese.
Can we see
Every game is life and death.
Can we can we see some old school King J Invoker? Or not Invoker, King J Visage, like 2010 King J Visage. Those Visage games blew my mind, but I don't think we're doing that today.
If I have to hear you mispronounce the hero all game, maybe not.
Is it Visage? Visage?
It's not Visage. It's either Visage or Visage.
Okay, Visage.
Depending on, yeah.
That has a French sounding.
Yeah.
Visage.
You either have to say it the French way or you say it like the Western way, which is Visage, I think.
Okay, Visage. All right, there won't be a Visage.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's not anything except Visage.
Okay, which is just wrong. All right, Bane Elemental is going to be the pickup here, which somewhat of a pick, but more importantly as a counter pick to the Lone Druid. They don't want to give it away, and it's actually pretty good against a Gyrocopter as well.
Yeah, well, I think Bane is supported. It's a nice little set for the last track, and they haven't. It doesn't seem like they want to reveal what's going to be their other sort of farming carry hero. Lone Druid can go the offlane. He can be playing as a safe lane solo, maybe even an offensive tri-lane is in the cards for Tongfu. Although doing so against a Gyrocopter is not always going to be all too fun.
I feel like we might see something like an anti-mage that's going to be popping up because they have a somewhat of a defensive lane in the form of a Bane Elemental and a Shrek. Ice is generally a very good off-lane player though, so and it's going to be hard to shut him down. Meanwhile, Zenith is going to be picking up a Jakiro, which I don't really see the synergy that's coming out of this team. Yeah,
I think Jakiro is just like your solid support hero. I mean, you can always play it with it, like it works really well with heroes like Darkseer, but I think just as a support in general, it's like, well, the alternative, I guess, if you needed more burst damage, getting something like a Lina or something would be great. But
well,
I guess the more counter push coming out from Jakiro.
I suppose. I'm just never really too impressed with this hero unless you're trying to set up a big macro pyre or unless there's like a sort of situational counter pick. There's the anti-mage for Tongfu. Not too surprising there, considering that their lane is already kind of shaped out to really to allow anti-mage for free farm. But back to Shihiro, like he's not really good at ganker. He's okay team fight. He's slow. He's clunky. He's pretty tanky, I suppose. But we'll see what Zenith's last pickup here, and something like an Alchemist is in the pool, and I think he could do okay here.
Yeah, back in TI2 days, Tongfu were like one of the big teams pushing the anti-mage pick more than anyone. Like LGD kind of were focused more around the Morphling. Tongfu was all about the anti-mage, as was DK. DK and Tongfu were the anti-mage because Tongfu did a lot of the solo anti-mage where he's safe lane solo and you have some sort of an offensive tri-lane with mixed success. So there's always potential to do that. Probably not this game because they've got the Lone Druid who is going to be that off-lane solo.
So what do you predict the lanes out of Tinker? It's going to be a straight up off lane Tinker? No, it's going to be XY playing it. Ice playing Gyro. So offensive tri-lane it seems like.
Yeah, it seems we're going to be seeing Queen of Pain and Tinker as the two souls. Maybe Queen of Pain even in the safe lane, but it does look like offensive tri-lane for sure here. As for the other two solos, I guess it depends who would they rather have against the Mag, and I think they'd rather probably put Queen of Pain mid against Mag, but I guess more personal preference. Well, I guess the bigger issue is who do you want against Lone Druid? Because Lone Druid's going to be the harder matchup, so maybe Queen of Pain does better against Lone Druid than Tinker does.
Well, I think Tinker's going to be okay. Blind is, maybe not. It's going to be tough against, it doesn't matter who you face, it's going to be tough. In fact, all the Zenith team just bought their items so quickly, they're smoked up before the Radiant haven't really left their base. Or they're looking for a level 1 pickoff. This is something that we've seen definitely in the past, where they love to, for example, hide like this area of the map, like in between this camp or high over here, drop an early ward and go for those first blood.
Yeah, well, big rotation. What's Tongfu going to look at? If they're walking right into this, their early level 1 fight is not at all impressive.
Yeah,
the only good level 1 hero is Leshrac, really.
Well, I guess the other level 1 spell is to blink to get away from that one.
Yeah, Anti-Mage hasn't actually leveled anything up yet. Maybe he'll do some
It's going to be seen right now. Ice is going to be able to cut through. Anti-Mage now sees them.
Okay, cool. Well positioned by Tongfu. Well, maybe just, I feel like some of these level 1 fights, whether there's action or not, it just comes down to chance.
Yeah, it really is.
30 seconds to
who you
showtime.
lead off in the front, but what that's going to allow you to do is then if it's going to basically go into the enemy jungle ice path, it's going to hit on Bane. Can they get off the lift? No lift is available. Hal does have the blink, not going to be using it, so baiting out a couple of spells from Zenith, not really losing too much HP as a result, and all of these guys have to back off. I think, is Yamate going to miss his block a little bit? I don't think he's... Yeah, he might miss a tiny bit of blocking.
Yeah, it looks that way. Assuming he's mid,
And they're off.
unless Tinker's going mid, XY is actually still seeing down towards his bottom lane. It's going to be safe lane solo gyrocopter.
Offensive tri-lane Tinker. We've
Cool.
seen it all, guys.
I've seen this a few times though. MTW used to do this back when they played a lot of Tinker, but even since then, some other teams have done it here and there.
Okay.
With, I wouldn't say great success, but I wouldn't say it's been like a flop by any means. But
Well, King J's got himself a double damager. He's going to be pulling the creep wave up top. In fact, here comes Ice. Doing a little bit of rocket barrage harass. Oh, King J.
you think TD Rune's going to help you?
He really doesn't help you to tank damage. That Orb Venom will, however, help him to slow him down.
Yeah, that. Well, I guess Lone Druid already has 315 movement speed anyways, but he chose to Tango as well as a salve there.
Yeah.
And that was with a level 1 DD Rune.
So let's quickly actually talk about how this bot lane works. You talk about how we've seen this actually happen before. What's the success rate? How do you play this lane? Do you play him as a nuke heavy carry, or do you actually just go March and kind of slow siege towers with Marches?
I generally see like a couple, like it's kind of like this, it's similar to the solo mid. You're going for the March, but not like straight up max March. You get maybe 2 laser, 2 rocket, and then start maxing March. You want to have a few points in your nukes.
Well, right now, Pool is going to allow the banana to get a little bit of CS here, but at the same time, Anti-Mage is taking a ton of harass in the jungle. He does have poor man shield, but out of Tango, this already, Ice Path is going to steal a big creep, so somewhat of a big win here for Zenith. They're slowly grinding away these supports. Anti-Mage is losing all of his restorative, which is going to make a dive later on a lot more successful.
Yeah. The other way to play the Tinker is just to max rockets by level 7 as well, which I think against a tri-lane, having level 4 rockets at level 7 could be very powerful. I guess by the time you're level 7 in a tri-lane, it's kind of broken apart. You're no longer in the laning stage. More likely you'll see rotations around to other lanes, so maybe things won't go as clear-cut as that.
Ooh, looks like Banana's going to select Enfeeble as his first skill choice here, and against a range hero like Tinker, it's going to be somewhat annoying for them to deal with, although XY really good player, so yeah, he's actually just lasting like there is just no empower on top.
27 damage is enough.
It's better than
Freedom takes 1.
still has a better animation than Techies.
Yeah.
You can last on Techies, so
That's honestly, you can enfeeble a Tinker and he'll just say, okay, Freedom, you take the last hits while I'm enfeebled. As long as someone's getting the farm, then it's still a Zenith. Then it's not like they're losing out on farm. It just means faster boots, faster upgraded courier, more wards, and Tinker's maybe slightly slower boots of travel. But as long as someone's getting the farm, the enfeeble isn't really being all that effective as a tool.
I want to see Ice actually use this illusion, the second one that he has behind him right now, to actually make off a ancient stack. It's just one of those small things that you could take advantage of with your illusion rune. You don't want to use your hero to do it because you're losing XP. You could get dove upon, but I think some sort of free value is lost here by Ice right now.
He's going to be a March build coming out from XY. He's got the point at level 2. But definitely agree, if he's going March build, they want to start sacking these Ancients quite early on.
Well, looks like they're doing a very good job in terms of harassing, but I mean, you don't pick this tri-lane to harass, right? It feels like if you're going offensive tri-lane, you have to get something done because you know the enemy is pulling. Although the pull is now blocked off, in fact, the pull actually favor Freedom a little bit earlier on, so maybe not. Maybe Tongfu is, you know, in the position exactly where Zenith wants him to be in.
Yeah, I think Zenith. Yeah, I think it really is that case where Zenith are like, okay, we're happy to not go for these kills because we're just out farming you. Anti-Mage has got 10 creep kills here, but that bringer health is going to be very slow. We may even see just a Tranquil Boots instead, because he wants to have the movement speed, and the Tranquil Boots slightly more cost effective there.
And meanwhile, it looks like mid lane, it's a little bit of a wash. Magnus has 12 CS, Queen of Pain a little bit better with 15, but as the Bottle Crow is going to come back, it's going to be more equalized. So that lane's a wash. How's top
is going kind of bad for King J. He's getting out farmed, but more importantly, I think he's brought up new regen for himself at least once, maybe even twice. He's getting harassed really heavily.
And a magic stick. I'm not sure what that's about.
You can see Ice. He was low mana earlier, but
XY getting a kind of initiate upon the Ice Path is going to be used. Lift is going to toss him back. The March is going to basically says, get back, everybody. But at least burn is salve coming here from XY. But sorry to cut you off. What were you saying about the King J?
King J, yeah, he's been forced to bring out more regen for himself. Ice has just been constantly using all his mana to spam away. And I think Ice, I mean, considering how much money is being invested in regen for Lone Druid, he's losing this lane.
Yeah. So bot lane, I want to say it's a Zenith been winning that one. Top lane is going to be a Zenith lane as well. So back in the bot lane, they're going to focus on How. How's going to go down to first blood. Yeah, laser. That's actually a pretty good spell.
Yeah.
Pierces through any type of magical resistance. It's pure damage.
So the second level 2 laser, and this is where just having that burst damage from some points in laser does sort of justify going for a laser build. No points in the rockets just yet, but Zenith, they strike first, they get the first blood, and it goes to the Tinker.
Yeah, X-Freedom doing a very good job anti-pulling this one, Ice Path, and this is going to be a second laser, second kill. So this Stryling, I talked about how he's not getting any kill earlier. Now it's getting a bunch, so for X-Freedom might be a little bit trouble, but in fact, everybody's going to get their mana burn in return, but they'll be happy to trade a little bit of their mana for a kill, a second kill now on XY. So he's got his boots of speed. He's sitting at almost 1,400 gold. We're going to see like a 6-minute, 7-minute boot of travel if he gets these last hits.
I don't think you go for the 6-minute boot of travel though, because you'll be like level 5, level 6.
You can't really do much.
Quick soul ring, even a bottle. I just feel like having the boots of travel when you're just hit level 5, level 6, like you're not actually doing anything with it. It does mean you have them for use later, but you're still stuck. You still just keep going bottom. You may as well get your bottle or soul ring first, I feel.
Yeah, it's a completely fair point. Now level 6 on Queen of Pain has his teleport scroll, so it means that you're not going to be able to get any dive. Meanwhile, does Magnus is level 6? Does he have his own TP? A little bit late on that one. Doesn't have it just yet. I think for his team's sake, he needs that TP. And I'm somewhat surprised that Tongfu's kind of falling behind early on. They're generally very good individual skills to win the early game lane. It's going to be Invistorn up top, and it's going to be race towards it. Yamate chickened out a little bit too early.
I think rightfully so. Mag probably couldn't have killed him, but he could have done some.
It's only a 600 HP, RP, Shockwave.
It's only level 6 mag. If it was level 7, I think so, but the level 6 mag, don't think so.
Well, it's gonna be the first.
We've been close.
Yeah, it's gonna be close, especially if there's a single attacker hit or two.
Yeah.
And here comes XY, level 2. It's gonna be a marching machine, and you're right. It's gonna be a soul ring build.
I'll probably go for boots of travel coming next, but it's just more like one of those things where it's like you can get the fastest boots of travel of your life as a Tinker, but you're in a tri lane, you're level 4. It's not going to help too much. In the other lanes, Gyrocopter, he's level 7. He's actually maxed out the flat cannon, so a great way to play against the lone druid because you can always harass his hero no matter how far back he's sitting.
ISIS going for treads, something that I'm not actually expecting. I thought it was going to be something like a face drums build. So this is going to be indicative that Zenith is going to be playing a little bit slower on the early game pace. They're going to be going for a little bit more later game. And if they can find free pickoff with their Jakiro, with their Rubik, as well as Queen of Pain, that's going to be great. But it's going to be more of a farming-oriented game. Maybe XY is going to play it with a little bit of aggression up in the front, but Zenith is going for the late.
Yeah, and for Tongfu, they want to try and just keep getting... For Mu, I think they want to get him his arcane boots. Oh, killer top lane solo from Gyrocopter. He goes down to do it.
I did not expect that one at all. Sorry for missing that kill. But yeah, even though he died in that kill, that's basically a free trip back home for Ice. Ice says as, you know... Oh, Ice. Ooh, Ice Path barely missing. If they got the Ice Path off, I think Hal was going to be dead there.
Radiant's top tower. Zenith, they don't find themselves another kill at bottom lane. Meanwhile, mid lane, Queen of Pain trying to be as aggressive as possible. Rune is spawning very soon, so Mag gonna just camp out at top. Mag almost has enough gold for his arcane boots, and around the time you get your arcane boots is when you want to start roaming around the map, maybe looking for a team fight somewhere.
Ooh, you can see the two support. They're waiting for the Queen of Pain to come in. It's gonna be in. Oh, okay.
They need Mag.
Yeah, Mag's not here. Lightning's gonna come through, and the blink. Ooh, the blink is gonna destroy the last attack. Shockwave, 1,000 range. Oh, what a snipe! There is no Chinese short range on that Shockwave. It is full range. Wow.
Wow, that was
beautiful.
He skewered and just the very, very tip. I'm sure Yamate is probably just like cursing in Chinese, like, how the fuck did that just happen?
Yo, man, you don't underestimate Mu's solo mid capability. He's definitely no Ferrari. He's definitely no like a super in terms of the fame. But
yeah,
he's always there. Yeah.
He's no Ferrari or super, but he's Mu, which is in my book just as good.
Just as good. Like. Might not be as big of a name, might not have the biggest draw, but still a great player.
Yeah. So we'll find a key kill for the Mag. That gets him up to 1,400 gold. Arcane Boots, TP should be his next two items coming out, and then he needs to look, I think, for a rotation towards bottom. If not bottom, even top. Gank Ice Ice Ice. That's something which he may not be expecting here with this 1v1 matchup against Lone Druid. A Mag coming in could sort of offset him.
And meanwhile, Anti-Mage just having the toughest time in the game right now. He's just trying to last it away, missing a couple of these lasts under tower. Very uncharacteristic of Mu, or excuse me, with Hao. And despite his Ring of Health, he's still taking a ton of harass from these 3 range support. And his own support's not exactly offering any kind of safe haven. Like, he's still getting easily dove upon. They can't really go for any killing attempt. And despite having a fairly defensive lane, they gave away 2 kills total. So Zenith is doing quite okay. You can see Ice is playing so aggressive, looking for that lift. And as soon as they get that lift off, it's a free kill. Level 3 laser up on XY.
Alright, here we go, Moo. He's bought himself a smoke and TP, so he has 2 ways to gank these other side lanes. He knows that he needs to be the one setting up team fights. Lone Druid can't really do much to roam around the map. The tri lane at bottom has to just stay with the Antimates. He's the only one who can move around the map and make plays happen. So he'll be looking for those openings at the same time. Queen of Pain doing something similar, thinking about ganking top.
Oh, he does have that low level blink like you were mentioning. 2 heroes are kind of be checking for runes. No aggression here anywhere. It looks like we're going to see another pull coming out from Tongfu. And let's see, for their sake, let's see if they're going to keep this pull alive, tunnel it through, get some EXP, because they're really falling behind right now in terms of EXP on the supports.
Yeah, the supports do need some catching up here. Leshrac just level 3 even for the Radiant team. But Bane level 5, if they can get the Bane to level 6, then maybe find this Trailing. They're just going to get Banana level 6 now from this Centaur.
This is actually pretty smart, and he's going to try to tunnel through a little bit late on that one, but Banana is going to get level 6. They could get a very unsuspecting kill, especially if Dual Breath is already used in this occasion. Or Ice Path, sorry.
Alternatively, Bane can just go mid and help get a kill on the Queen of Pain. Mag actually was smoked up. Gets revealed at mid lane, so Queen of Pain realizing that he was either smoked or invis.
I'm somewhat disappointed that Mu has not used the RP just yet. He's got it.
Here we go.
RP on the mid lane here. A couple more right clicks and creep wave.
Well.
Yeah, creep wave doing a little bit of work, and there you go. That RP has a fairly low cooldown. That you get those solo kills, you go farm in lane. As soon as, like after a minute or so, that Queen of Pain comes back in the lane, you have it back up again. So you can even make the same kill attempt.
Yeah. So all the people downing Tongfu as a tier 3 invite. Well, this guy just solo killed Yamate in the mid lane. That's not too bad. Not too bad.
Maybe I won't vote for Yamate in the solo mid player contest. Maybe it's just Mu.
I don't think Yamate is a premier solo mid anymore.
Yeah, I think it's.
No hate, but I don't think he's up to par with the likes of Mushi, Super, or even players like Fear or whatever. S4, I think Yamate is just not quite on the same level anymore.
You know who I want to play solo mid? I want to see Boba go solo mid. Haven't seen that man go solo mid. He definitely can. But we'll talk about more compendium bonuses a little bit later on, as Zenith has Yamate smoked up. Sonic Wave is online, and they're looking for a kill.
Radiant's top
Not gonna find anything though.
Lift on Antimage bottom lane. They want to actually gank him out here. Ice Path to follow things up. I don't know if they have enough burst damage. Shortest blink of How's live.
And the laser, is Yamate gonna go for the kill? He's got blink in a couple seconds. He sees Anti-Mage as well, but he's not gonna go for too dangerous of a dive. And how, despite the short blink, will survive. But we do have Breach of Travel finish though, as Tinker should be delivering it soon.
He's solidly level 6, so I was about to say this is the time you want it, but it's not the level you want to be. You want to be around like level 7, level 8. He's only going to be going around with level 3 laser, level 2 Mart, so he needs to find levels, which he's not getting because there's constantly 3, even 4 heroes bottom lane.
Well, I mean, that's how the trialing work. And
yeah.
they haven't got too many kills. In fact, looks like Gyrocopter has got 1 kill up top, but Tongfu King J has rotated mid and got the kill there. King J's been having really one of the roughest time that possible. You expect King J normally get a ton of farm. He's only got 48 CS as a lone druid, and we're 13 minutes in, so he's having a tough time. Same thing with Yamate. I guess the true winner here is really the Tinker as well as Magnus.
Yeah, I agree. As far as Antimage's farm is going, it's been slowed down and shut down fairly well, especially when you compare him to the Gyrocopter CS. But I still feel How's one of those players who, once he gets a little bit of space to farm, he will catch up incredibly fast.
Here's the thing though, you have both Lone Druid and Anti-Mage being somewhat slowed down, and Magnus is only a true farmer. Zenith right now has a unique opportunity to say, right, you know what? We are gonna shut down one of these carry for sure, no matter what you're gonna do. And I don't think Tongfu can do too much about it. Like, they just have to hope that if let's say How is a true carry, then they say, all right, let's hope they shut down a Lone Druid instead. Or if King J the true carry, then they hope that Anti-Mage gets shut down instead. It's just that right now the ball's in Zenith's court, and they have the advantage right now, in my opinion.
Well, they do, but at the same time, I don't think it's a case where Tongfu have to sit back and wait to see what Zenith do. With this Blink Dagger on Mag, as well as a level 2 RP, that's more damage, more stun duration, they can definitely set up kills almost anywhere they want. They're going to smoke up with the Bane, who is level 6 as well. And I think they can make plays happen. They do need to keep on protecting Antimate to try to give him space to farm, but they can do that by ganking other lanes, force Zenith to TP out of this bottom lane, give Antimate some space there.
Yeah, that's exactly what Tongfu Banana is looking for. Grip, haven't seen him use just yet. Yamate thinks he's safe. The cast range of the grip is not exactly too long, but he will find it. Skewer, no, Blink already available. Is he going to use the RP? RP is very worth it. Just a Skewer. Brain Sap not even necessary. And Yamate goes down once again. He's just having one of the worst games that I've seen him had as a Queen of Pain, which is generally more of a lane-dominating hero.
Yeah, I mean, this has not been one of Yamate's best games. He plays Queen of Pain quite a bit as well, but we'll see. I guess for Zenith, the backup is always going to be this Gyrocopter who's farming oh so well. He's got the Helm of the Dominator treads. He's not really... he's using it just to stack normal neutrals. So he's going to accelerate his farm very fast using this neutral stack here over in the far right, the big camp.
What do you think? I mean, I guess if you use it to stack the Ancients, it's always a point of contention. They always reward it. You think it's almost safer?
Tinker's taking the Ancients is the main thing. Or Tinker has been. He killed off some Ancients earlier before. So I guess the plan is Tinker takes the Ancients and Ice takes this. He's actually killing it now using the Tornado. He's not going to get XP, but he's going to get gold.
That's a really big creep to talk about. But
Micro that Tornado. No, he's just getting it low. He wants to save the XP.
Oh my god, what a play, man. Okay, that's pretty smart. By the way, Mu and Yamate, they're like right next to each other. They're like long lost lovers, and they can't see each other though, because that tree is nearby. Gyrocopter has farmed that big ancient stack. That's gonna put him up to level 13. Jesus, he is well ahead of anybody else in terms of level.
Yeah, Mag about to hit level 12, but not quite comparable to how well Gyrocopter's doing, even with the death to his name.
It is so damn obvious that Magnus is ganking the bot lane because the mid, there's creeps on in front of tower, and it's also quite obvious that Queen of Pain is somewhere nearby because, well, a ton of EXP being lost. It's gonna be.
Die.
Oh no! Well,
he's alone.
Sanshung's also in a little bit of trouble on the mid lane. He's thinking of farming, but there's a couple of heroes that could easily blink on him. No, it's gonna be a King J gank up on top lane. Whether they get this gank successfully off or not, it's a ton of time already being wasted.
Yeah.
Even if they get this Leshrac kill.
You see this big 3-man smoke gank, they will get the Leshrac. Easy pick off, but similar thing was happening from Tongfu. Mag was just sitting in trees, well not invis, but just hiding for such a long time. They weren't really, they were just both teams wasting a lot of time. So I think it kind of negates itself.
Yeah, I suppose. Sometimes when you see a long smoke gank like that, you think to yourself, that team that actually got the smoke gank off, they lost gold because of the missed opportunity in terms of farm. It's somewhat equalized though, like you pointed out, because since Mu's doing the exact same thing.
Well, Mu, he has got 1300. I'm wondering what he goes after this. I think he even considers going for the mech for the team, for their team fight. They haven't really got any other obvious mech buyer, and I think if Tongfu can have a fast mech on their team, it'll help them quite a bit here.
I think Leshrac or Bane normally can do it, it's just that they don't have the farm to do it, so it's not uncommon to see a mech on Magnus. I also want to say that a BKB is almost a necessity in this game, considering how many kind of chain stun they have, how many disruptive AoE spells they have. It's really nice to have it. I don't think he's going to have the luxury to find one this game.
Yeah, I agree. As for Lone Druid, he's finished off his armor. He's actually farming a neutral stack of his own. So both teams have to trade farm quite a bit. What's Ice board? He spent something. Okay, Shadow Blade.
Very, very good kind of a farming item, split pushing item. He's really going just for a heavy farming build. Ancient stacking, neutral stacking.
He sent his Centaur over now to the Ancient. So he will be doing some Ancient stacking as he just got a new neutral.
Well, there's Ice Path on Mu. Is it going to be Telekinesis lift stolen? It's going to be lifting up. Not going to be up on that little bit edge. Mu should be fine. The grip's going to be using Yamate. And Ice Path is down, so there's nothing to help him out. Skewer into RP, perhaps. RP, that's going to be the kill. You heard the Chaos attempt coming out from the Monovoid. He will get it on this one. That's a double kill. Talked about the lack of early game on Tongfu, and they strike right back. 6-4 in favor of Tongfu. Go chart. Back in the favor of Radiant. Calldown's gonna come through, and Banana, well, he's gonna be dead. No, nice Nightmare usage. In fact, they're gonna turn around, perhaps a nice route here, and Ice should be going down. Does he have the Shadow Blade activation? He doesn't
the
have
Urn finishes him off.
Yeah, the Urn does from, I believe it was...
That's a big kill. He's level 14. That's a lot of gold, a lot of XP for Tongfu, and a really good fight for Tongfu. After that, I would say they're ahead for sure. Anti-Mage got himself a kill, got himself tons of space to farm, and he's going to have his Battle Fury very fast now. And I don't feel like he's behind, even though it's a late Battle Fury, because those kills means you're slowing Zenith down, so it makes your Battle Fury not seem as late when you're winning fights and getting kills.
Yeah, comparatively, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
And he's just one piece away. You saw the Magnus denying the tower in the mid lane, so a little bit less going to Zenith eventually. And more importantly, it seems like Magnus is going to be going for the BKB. So we talked about how Arcane's nice for the team, but BKB perhaps even better for the team if he could be the menace that he is already being in these upcoming team fights.
Yeah. So Zenith, they can't really look to do too much until I feel like they have finished off this Shadow Blade on Ice Ice Ice. He can come to fights, but he's very prone to just getting focused down. Yamate as well, still quite a ways from his BKB with all these deaths. So the two key heroes for Zenith, just a small bit off having these key items. Tinker does have a Blink Dagger up now, though, so he can be so annoying all over the map.
Yeah, but Tinker's not a hero that could win you a team fight right at this portion of the game. He's one of those heroes that drags the game out, is somewhat annoying, goes for the kind of the late game activation kind of items. So, yeah, they could kind of slow siege and push down this tower, but just the amount of time it takes means that Anti-Mage is going to free farm for that amount of time. He's got Empower buff up on top lane. He's got the Battle Fear finish. It's going to be delivered. So, not exactly a 14-minute Battle Fear treads and not everything else, but still a very good time. And XY will begin to slow siege. This is so hard to defend against.
Yeah, you can't even like look to go and try to kill XY. He'll just blink out of there, and I think Tongfu, actually it does look like they're going to try and fight this move. He's positioning himself below the tower. Look, he does have that blink RP if needed.
They're again slowly working, chipping at this tower away, but it's taking too much time. How Battle Fury delivered, and it's starting to work up on top lane. He's actually going to push down tower if it's going to go the same rate that it has been going before that Zenith gets about tier 1.
This is what Hal loves to do. It's very Bernie-esque anti-mage play.
Ooh, XY get found himself despite the Blink Dagger. There is no Ice Path backing him up, and the Mono Void should actually do it. There's a Mono Void for the kill. Sonic Wave comes in as well as Ice Ice Ice. The RP's gonna grab 2. Shockwave's gonna get the kill, but Ice found himself a level 2 RP. He's gonna be casting it. Ice 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 does have, oh no, he gets Brain Sap. He's also dead. Carnage in the spot lane, but so far it seems gonna be a 5-for-2 exchange despite getting Druid and Anti-Mage, which are the 2 prize kills. Tongfu cleans up.
Yeah, still a great fight for Tongfu. They won't be happy about losing the anti-mage especially, but it's still a good fight for them. And Gyrocopter? No, they're not going to go for this kill.
Maybe they will. They have speed. They're going to shockwave.
Leshrac got the hell out. Leshrac didn't have mana for a stun.
Okay, that's the big deal there. Yeah, and Ice Ice has bought back in that fight. He bought back at the end of it. Not too sure.
The big play there for me was Banana, just getting that Fiend's Grip on the Tinker. He came round from the side. He was searching for Tinker, found him, and just used Fiend's Grip. Even with the entire Zenith team there with disables, they weren't in range because Tinker was isolated.
Yeah, and really, I think if you're Jakiro, you save that Ice Path because that's your most reliable way to kind of disable it. Sure, there is telekinesis. It's just such a short cast range. You're not going to be able to get in position to cancel that Fiend's Grip reliably. And it's hard to resist the temptation to spam the Ice Path. It's long cast range. It's you know, good AoE and all that stuff. But that grip is just killing them right now.
Yeah, it's so far for Tongfu, it's been really solid. Just execution, individual play in the team fights and execution has just been there. Zenith will get the tier 1 bottom. They're actually looking to sort of pressure on a bit more, even without these items still. They've still got no BKB, no Shadow Blade, but they're very persistent that they want to take fights and take fights now. No mag RP for 15 seconds, but that's, like I say, 15 seconds. That's going to change fast, and then Zenith have to be very worried once again.
Yeah, I'm looking at these item progression coming out from Zenith. They got the Blink on Tinker, which has been nice. Unfortunately, didn't avoid the last gank. Looks like a little bit of foray in the jungle. King J's going to eat a rocket to the face. Not the biggest deal.
Oh, there's your Entangle. We'll get NWP. Yamate, RP used. I'm fine with that RP.
Yep. It's absolutely fine. Solo kill, that's okay. No team fight's gonna break out. I mean, even if a team fight breaks out, you could make do without the RP for a bit. It's not like Tongfu can't fight a team fight without the RP.
Well, I mean, it's down for 100 seconds, and 35 of those seconds, Queen of Pain is dead anyway. Yep. So you just have to have a minute where you have 5v5 potential, but I mean, it's not going to happen. They just play it safe. They're split pushing anyways. Hal's just solo pushing top lane. This is a game where using RPs for solo kills will happen probably plenty more times.
And teammate up on top lane, 1400 gold. Gonna be going for Yasha, I imagine, into that Manta style. And Ice Ice Ice, who had I mean, remember that he was kind of leading in terms of CS. He's still leading in terms of CS, but it just doesn't feel like the impact he's had. He had a big neutral stack for himself. He's been doing a lot of farming work, but buying back or dying and buying back again, it just doesn't help their gold intake.
And once Tongfu have a BKB on Mag and finish like a Manta on Anti-Mage, it gets really scary for Zenith. You've got to start worrying for them. You're going to have an Anti-Mage with an Empower on him as well, a Spirit Bear with Empower, and this Spirit Bear, he's starting to build an Assault Cuirass as well, so Tongfu really starting to progress well towards the late game in terms of items.
Smoke Party comes out in the mid lane. I'm not too sure why they didn't at least make a attempt on go on Anti-Mage. He does have haste, so maybe that's particularly why. They're going to walk up the hill here, and they can find themselves a Latrak and King J. If you get a 2 free kill here, that could be a big win. They lift him up. He's going to be focusing on top Ice Path into a Sonic Wave. There's a Sonic Wave. Where's the grip's going to be used? If they get entangled, you can see Banana trying to cut in position. Oh, nice blink away here coming out from...
Oh, Anti-Mage almost found him.
They see him. I think they see him, right?
Yeah, they do.
Skewer.
Blink, chase. Oh, he blinked up. Oh, he blinked to the cliff.
Man.
Smart. Anti-Mage. Well, you'd have to have some crazy guessing skills to know that.
Meanwhile, split pushing up top from Ice. I think they're clawing their way back in this game. If you look at net worth, Tinker's leading the way. He's got himself a ton of items. He's not too far off from a Scythe of Ice. I think they're okay despite the kind of the early poor team fight they chose.
I think if anything, they're just stabilizing a bit. They're thinking, okay, this game's going late game. Let's make sure we can fight in the late game. So keep on farming with the Gyrocopter, get the Tinker's Scythe of Ice and other items, and then it's gonna. This game seems to be a game where Tongfu have a slight edge, 3k gold lead, XP, 10k XP lead. That's actually quite big, but it's going to be decided by just how the team fights go down, whether or not Mag can get the RP he's looking for, the Fiends group, whether it gets cancelled or not. These kind of factors are going to decide things. So Zenith actually have a pretty good late game of their own. The BKB almost finished on the Queen of Pain. Gyrocopter maybe goes for a BKB of himself, and when they've got the Scythe of Ice on Tinker, well, Zenith can find the pickups. They can make kills happen.
They definitely can, but here's the thing. Mech is almost done on Shansheng. Not Shansheng, on Banana. You were talking about where's that mech? It eventually came on the Bane. Yasha's now done on How. He's got 600 gold in the bank. Ooh, nice Ice Path comes in. In fact, they're going to go for a solo kill. That's a little bit overzealous. I don't think so about that one.
Yeah, until they have that's the other thing. Until they get a Scythe of Ice from Tinker, there's not really much killing of this anti-mage.
Yep. Well, Yamate, his effect is not that big. Today we've seen nothing but BKB first on Queen of Pain. I'm personally not a big fan of it. Sure, it allows you to take.
We saw Orchid once.
Yeah, we saw Orchid once, and that was like, what, a 20-minute Orchid against a 20-minute Battle Fury Manta anti-mage, which was not effective. But I'm personally just not a big fan of Queen of Pain BKB. Just that's a ton of farm. And sure, she's gonna in that first couple of team fights, she's gonna be a big menace. But later in the game, anti-mage just scoff at what Crop could do. Syllabir doesn't care. Magnus doesn't really care, so I'm not sure about that. I'm not sold on it.
Yeah, and this is a Magnus with a BKB as well. You can only imagine his next time will be that Refresher Orb. So for Zenith, I guess, do they keep on just split farming, split pushing? I don't think they really want to take a head-on team fight.
I don't think they have the option to do anything else. I think that's a better way to actually talk about it. They won't have the option until XY gets its Blink Dagger. And suddenly, if you could go for anti-mage pickoff, it doesn't matter whether he has Manta style, it doesn't matter, you know, how farm he is. As long as you get a Chain Hex on him, he is dead. So I think that's what they're waiting for. And until then, Zenith can't do too much of anything, and Tongfu could do whatever they want. In fact, they'll do a 4-man smoke gank. And anti-mage still free farming up top.
Well, this is very much your Zenith and Southeast Asian Dota style, especially with Singaporean Dota style with Tinker. It's about split pushing and almost more split farming. They're not too worried about pushing the lanes. They're just wanting to get as much farm as possible all over the map.
Tinker TP's about to defend, anti-mage TP's up top, so both teams having the exact same ideas.
Yeah, I think Tongfu realizing they're gonna have to fight farm with farm. They don't have the most farmed anti-mage. I mean, you mentioned the last one we saw by Xiao Tuji had Manta B Fury at like 21 minutes. This one, no Manta, 28 minutes in, and still needing a bit more farm. You also need to be careful at this top lane.
The top tower is going to get siege upon, but the bot tower being siege upon as well. Glyph doing some work, but that Bear doing a little bit more. In fact, they are going to TP back. They'd rather go for their tower defense and trade, and I think that's ultimately the right choice. Those free tier 1 towers, anti-mage can pick them off easily later on. Oh, looks like they're going to lose a Bear for that. No, not the biggest deal.
Not the biggest deal at all, but all in all, tier 1 tower, not deniable. So Zenith hold their tier 1 bottom tower. I mean, really just holding on to anything they can, slow down the anti-mage Manta cell, slow down these lone druid items, but it's going to be an Assault Crest sooner or later on this lone druid, I feel. Hasn't actually got any more of these pieces. I'm wondering where's his farm gone, because he's had these same items for quite some time.
Did he die or buyback or anything like that?
He may have just bought this Basta Ring. Maybe he's going to get pick up of Vlad's, because I feel like this Basta Ring is a new little pickup, although it's only 600 gold.
Yeah, we'll see. Looks like, ooh, Bear's going to just go for the last hit on the tower. That's getting himself a couple of 300 golds. And you see Ice trying to do the same thing. Ice hasn't also picked up an item for a while, so a lot of the early aggression kind of just have slowed down a bit. We're in this, kind of a farming stage, and we're kind of just explaining why. Oh, Claudine's going to be driving Hao away. He's going to go for the last hit. In fact, Hao's going to blink back and try to go for the kill. Gyrocopter got the tower kill, though, so that's all he wanted. Good job.
Yeah, nice play by Ice. And right now, I mean, you mentioned you think Zenith are doing pretty well. It really looks that way because Tongfu have no answer for the Gyrocopter constantly pushing the top lane, the Tinker constantly farming Ancients at bottom as well as pushing out the bottom lane and defending it, while the other three heroes, your Rubik, Jakiro, as well as Queen of Pain, are just farming neutrals. Zenith, I think, are actually out-farming Tongfu for the last about 3-4 minutes.
Yeah, the gold graph is dipping as a result. I think Moog, because the fact that they haven't been finding any kind of pickoffs, it's really hurting them. You can see that Moog teleports back, immediately picks up a gem. I think that's the correct choice. You are the stronger team in terms of direct team fights. They can find them because of ward coverage, and because of that, they're getting out farmed. So, well, cut off their ward coverage and make sure that you do get a couple kills.
Yeah, I like this as well. The other option is to sort of group up and just force a 5-man push, but until Antimage gets enough items, you can't really do that. He's got Battle Free Manta, but I don't even know if that's enough item. I feel like you need the Heart or BKB on top of that.
I think you give your gem to the whatchamacallit though.
Leshrac?
No, to Syllabear, Long Druid.
Okay.
I think he's the tankiest hero, and if they kind of jump on him, allows Magnus to somewhat get a free RP off. Sure,
it's not for a team fight. It's not a team fight gem. It's a dewarding gem.
Yeah,
and Druid doesn't want to go around the map looking for
sure,
ward.
that's
what the supports can do.
That's a very fair point. Yeah. So
Mag is the one sort of roaming around the map looking for. Well, Mag's melee, which is a problem, which is where either Leshrac or Bane may be an okay choice. Still no mech as well. Banana's had these items for some time. He hasn't died though, so we'll come out in just a second. Well, yeah, and these two supports will just hug move for a bit, look to deward using this gem. And they pretty much dewarded the whole map. There's just one ward over near the Roshan pit for now.
Yeah, and that's going to be somewhat tough here for Zenith. Even Tinker's got to be somewhat careful about in terms of where he treads. But the gold graph slowly dipping more and more down to 0. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Anti-Mage is getting out-farmed by a team of farmers. I don't think Anti-Mage gets out-farmed by any solo hero, but Tinker keeping up with them, Queen of Pain keeping up with them, Gyrocopter farming more.
Queen of Pain not so much, but definitely the other two, Gyrocopter and Tinker.
You know the drill.
Queen of Pain's had a bit of a tough time this game, I feel, but it's Tongfu. They're just not. They didn't really do a whole lot with this lead of the year. They finally take a tier 2 tower. I feel like this is what they should have just done a while ago. I guess they would just wanted to give Anti-Mage more space, and they didn't want to take a 4-man push and have a potential 4v5 fight. But I think they could have done fine 4v5 fight because of the mag.
I'm not sure even taking these tier 2 tower even matters at all. The game is going in such a late game stage that taking these early free gold means, yeah, your support gets a boots upgrade, but teamfight's not breaking out anytime soon anyways. It just mostly comes down to, and if those towers don't drop now, those towers will eventually drop to Anti-Mage when he's split pushing. So it's just getting the gold now versus getting it later. I don't see a big difference in it. The next item though will be a big difference maker for Anti-Mage's BKB. He needs to pop it in the teamfight before the hexes come, and if he does, the teamfight gets very, very easy.
Yeah, this will be maybe what Tongfu want before they. I guess before they look to really properly push is they'll maybe try to take a fight near the Roshan pit. Zenith don't really have anything too much to go through the BKBs. Not to mention they don't really have the best lineup for fighting around the Roshan pit. There's more open space. Tinker can sort of get caught out and found and brought down maybe.
Well, we'll kind of settle back into this long farming stage.
Yeah,
and it's just...
we've had, looking at our little scoreboard, we've had no kills since the 25-minute mark, 24-minute mark.
Yeah, something like that. It's been 1 or 2 kill. Supports getting randomly pick off, and I definitely don't mind my kind of farming.
Well, the 3 dots on the gold graph are tower kills. I just realized they show tower kills.
Ooh, I see.
So there hasn't been a kill since before around the 25-minute mark, which I'm not complaining about. It's a much more strategic game, and it's just a matter of when things start to erupt, when Tongfu say, okay, we've had enough. Anti-Mage is big enough to take the fight. He's got BKB. They could, in theory, go now, or in theory, they could just say, we want a heart or a butterfly as well.
Why not? Go for the full butterfly first.
Yeah.
Well, actually, maybe not butterfly, because you know that your evasion, when you're scythed, is going to get eliminated. You only get armor, which is still decent, but I think heart may be a little bit better.
I agree. I definitely agree. And I think for Tongfu, they'll look and see the side of the vice completely be like, well, we're fighting a side of the vice Tinker regardless. Sure, Anti-Mage is BKB, but Tinker's not getting much scarier. Okay, he can get a Shiver's Guard. Okay, he can get whatever it may be as his next item, but Side of the Vice is where he kind of peaks. Anti-Mage with a heart, he really can get a lot stronger.
How is going to be moving into the Roshan pit with his team?
The Dark Troll sitting there. They wanted to maybe smoke Roshan, but they'll get spotted by the dominated creep.
Well, they know that Brown's up top. It looks like they're going to make a team fight here. Smoke, it's going to be running into each other, and the RP, where is it? Grip's going to be used on Ice, and that's a ton of gold down the drain. RP's going to be on 2. RP is going to be stolen. And he blinks in with the counter RP.
Saves Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain considers Sonic Waving, but can't really get anything off. It saved the Queen of Pain, but that was it. I think almost, well, I guess letting Queen of Pain die and not using RP wouldn't have been a great result either, but Tongfu, they just had the better position there.
Yeah, both teams were smoked up. They had the high ground position. They're now going to get a Roshan out of that one. Unless they're very keen on chasing this Dark Troll Warlord. They do get him as well. The big thing for me is that Ice should not be the person running uphill like that. Like, he doesn't have BKB, and even if he does, Grip will still find him.
I don't think they have anyone to be running up that hill, though.
Sure.
Whoever runs up first dies. If it's supports, easiest kills for Tongfu. Tinker's the last one you want, and Queen of Pain, you'll just get stunned or something, some kind of, I guess, Leshrac stun, Bane Grip, before you can cast your BKB. I think you just have to go a different direction with your smoke gang if there's a chance Tongfu can be on that high ground. They should have gone through mid or through around, I guess around through mid and wrapped around.
Well, that's not what happened. Now Hao finds himself 2,800 gold, Aegis, Manta, BKB, Battle Fury. And what we guess is going to be the heart coming on next. He's going to have a ton of CS, leading in terms of GPM, leading in terms of net worth, and very much so leading in terms of creep kill as well.
Well, I guess Tongfu can probably take another fight fairly soon. Anti-Mage can even pick up another big item in the next minute or two after that one fight. And I don't see any reason for Tongfu not to look to try and use his Aegis to breach the high ground to get some Raxes. Yeah,
Anti-Mage is so fat at this point that with a single Reaver, he could just tank in the front line. Maybe he's going to go for a full-on hard because, you know, why not? You still have some good Aegis timing.
Yeah. And as for Zenith, well, they've got the MKB Gyrocopter. He's got decent damage, but he needs to be careful with his position. I think Zenith, just the lack of a frontline hero really hurts them. Who goes in? Who's initiating or who's in the front lines? Just drawing attention away. They don't really have anyone to do that.
I mean,
Ice with a BKB could be that hero, but he doesn't have a BKB.
I think it's your BKB quap. I mean, that's why you get the BKB, right? You blink in, you just beat the initiator, you beat the annoyance factor, you jump on the supports, and that's where the team fight starts, and then you allow everybody else to jump in. So it's so awkward to have your quap to be tanking, but when she has a BKB, she could definitely take a couple of hits.
Yeah, there's so much. The other big problem is there's Grip as well as the Mag RP, as well as Lone Druid Entangle, all of which goes through BKB, all of which can keep Queen of Pain lock her down, and then there's enough physical damage with Lone Druid Anti-Mage to actually kill off a BKB Queen of Pain. And this is with the Assault Crest as well, giving more plus attack speed, minus armor aura. This Lone Druid is suddenly pretty damn big.
Yeah, and remember that he didn't have a good early game at all. He was being kind of driven away despite having a double damage in lane.
Yeah.
But, you know, eventually his team persevered. He got a ton of free farm. Luckily that there was no stack here. Or else Anti-Mage would have cleaned it up. Looks like we're going to see a little bit of tier 3 pressure up top after tier 2 falling. But Zenith realized that he really can't fight.
Well, Anti-Mage, he's used his TPs, got that open slot. We'll have to see what he looks to get here. And Zenith looks like they're trying to bait things here at the top lane. 3 heroes go into the trees.
Well, they show Anti-Mage on the map. Where's the scythe?
They're probably thinking about this. Queen of Pain and Gyrocopter getting in position. Anti-Mage, he's not having any of it. He's going Basher too. I'm surprised by the Basher. I thought about the Basher, I'm like, you don't really need it. There's not many BKB heroes. There's just... It doesn't seem to me like there's a huge need for this Basher.
I mean, he's throwing out a ton of, you know, movement speed. I don't think it's a bad item. Even
no, it's not bad. But I think the heart would just be better. Even the butterfly would be slightly better. But I don't think it's a bad item.
Well, Tongfu says, all right, if you're not gonna come fight us, we'll come fight you at your base.
I love just like looking at the mini map. Zenith's heroes all like hugging the far left side in the trees.
Yeah, what the hell are they doing? They're like, this is some protests of deforestation or something. Hug them trees. It's like the Green Party over here.
No Gyrocopter in this game. Well, Zenith known for picking Sorry, not Gyrocopter. I mean Timbersaw. Yeah, Zenith known for picking Timbersaw that one time.
And they played as a support. It was a very kind of a boring, lackluster result too.
Here we go. This is it.
Well, Blink Sacrifice on how, but it's going to be a counter initiate coming out from Mu. He's got the BKB. Blink skewer backward. There's going to be a 3-man RP. RP again being stolen. Counter RP comes in, so Ice, every time the RP comes in, he's there. But it doesn't matter. There's no damage output. Yeah, look at that.
Every time Gyrocopter's dead or not doing damage, they finish off the Queen of Pain now as well. Triple kill for Anti-Mage. Ice will get the TP out. He's still got RP, which is nice. But even with this, it just goes to show how much stronger Tongfu are as far as team fight goes and as far as how far ahead they are when RP's getting stolen every fight and it's not doing much for Zenith.
Yeah, but RP is stolen after the BKB activation, which again, beggars can't be choosers. You can't expect to initiate with the stolen RP because they would definitely kill the Rubik before they go home. You can't give away a stolen RP with the Blink Dagger. And it's these RPs just simply are used defensively, which not exactly the same spell when it's being applied like that.
And I don't know, 18-9, the goal graph getting worse and worse with Zenith, and it feels like it's going to be. I guess they can keep on stalling. They've got a good lineup for defending with. They've got the Tinker. They can just keep on spamming things out. Gyrocopter, Flat Cannon, but unless they're getting new items up, I don't think it's going to matter.
So do you go the Heart now if you're Anti-Mage, or you go back to your Butterfly for attack speed?
I don't think it matters. I think he finishes off the Abyssal Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. His last one. I think it'll be just an Aegis. Save it for the Aegis once it's back up.
Sure.
I guess if he gets a ridiculous amount of gold, he may get like some boots of travel, but he doesn't have the best attack speed without a Butterfly.
Yeah, Butterfly gives you a ton of attack speed to work with, and it's one of the lower BAT heroes, so...
I'd be more... I don't think it matters too much for Anti-Mage at this point. It's more how his decision-making as far as how far he pushes out lanes by himself, how he chooses to fight. That's going to matter than his actual item choices. But be curious to see what he does go for. MKB not quite finished on Lone Druid, it looks like. Should be coming soon.
There is one though on the Gyrocopter. I think Gyro goes Divine soon, unless you say you don't. I mean, play that game and you
needs the BKB so much. Well, as we said before, BKB not going to matter a whole lot with everything that goes through it, but yeah. Gotta go Divine, maybe.
I think a Divine is almost necessary. You're down about 10k gold. You haven't been winning a single team fight at all. Tinker's getting a ton of farm, which is nice, but it's not the type of farm, especially on a Tinker, that will carry you back in the game. So I think Divine almost is mandatory at this point.
Yeah. Tongfu, what do you think they're waiting for before they look to end this game? I mean, they have Anti-Mage who in theory could buy boots of travel and then come back to a fight if they want to push.
Maybe that's what they're waiting for. I think...
They've got the money, I think, now.
This is what I maybe perhaps don't like the Chinese as much, is that sometimes they have a lead and they just play perhaps more passive than they need to play. They play it very safe, is I think the more correct way to say it. And that's a good question, guys. I don't know what they're waiting for. I feel like they have enough to actually push through right now.
I agree. I think maybe the one big item which will help them is going to be like a mag refresher, but I don't think that's going to be like, okay, we can't push until we have this. Like, we're not strong enough. They definitely seem strong enough. It'll be annoying pushing into the Tinker spam, but it definitely would be possible, I feel.
What if, I feel the team needs a pipe. They need to somehow walk past that marching machine layer and
I don't know. I think pipe at this point, because it's just the Anti-Mage and Lone Druid in the front line. Like, the support should not be getting hit by the March of the Machine.
I suppose, that's fair.
And you shouldn't be diving. This isn't a team that goes diving for kills. This is a team who, all they have to do when they push is just hit the tower. If Zenith is sitting back spamming March, just soak up the March damage and just keep hitting the tower. Get the tower, or get a bit low, you back off, earn up, mech up, and then do it again. Like, you basically force Zenith to engage by doing that slow methodical siege. March of the Machine can't stop that. Even Rocket Spam can't stop that. There's just not enough damage going on to Anti-Mage as well as Lone Druid. Lone Druid doesn't even go in, it's just a Spirit Bear.
Well, and the question is, why aren't they making that siege? And
I don't know. I don't mean to criticize Tongfu. I think the way they're playing it's fine. It's not as if they're losing because of it. It just seems like they could be starting to work away on the Zenith base. It's not going to be something like, oh, they push, they win the game. It'll just be like they can slowly chip away at these tier 3 towers at least. They may start doing that now. They have got a lot of heroes grouped up at top.
AM up to almost 6,000 gold. I think very soon we'll see and get a better idea of how this push is going to come. Now, to be fair, you're dealing with Dual Breath, Ice Path, Flat Cannon, Call Down.
Yeah.
and Martian Machine obviously. It's actually hard to sustain a push, and Tinker is always global pushing. This game might actually go on to a longer and longer farming stage, in which case you'll have at least 2 Sci-Fis a second coming in from Queen of Pain, and suddenly things could get a little bit dicey.
Yeah.
If Mag blinks in and gets Scythe, like, you lose the team fight.
That's why I would like to see Tongfu start working away on these tier 3 towers using the slow siege, because right now there's no Scythe on the Queen of Pain and there's no Divine Rapier on Gyro. If they just keep giving Zenith space, by the time they finally decide, okay, let's try and push, we've just got our Mag Refresher, we've just got this other big item, whatever it may be, Lone Druid's MKB, Lone Druid's whatever it is, Basher maybe, Abyssal Blade, by then Gyrocopter has a Divine Rapier and anything can happen. Who knows? Well, Mag misses an RP, Mag gets sized and caught out, and then suddenly it's like, oh, we just lost the fight to a Divine Gyro.
Well, there's also Blink Abyssal Blade, and that won't really miss, so it's just, there's more than a couple ways to stop him now. Fiend's Grip could do the job as well. So, I mean, Divine is the necessary item to win the game, but I'm not sure it'll work.
Yeah, it feels like Zenith are in a very desperate position, but it's just not showing because there hasn't been too many fights recently. We will see Tongfu go for Roshan, and what looks to be a fairly uncontested Roshan. Freedom going to scout out with an Ice Path. Sees Roshan not sitting there, and actually Zenith maybe decide they just have to go for this. It's all or nothing.
All that going to be used on the mid lane. Into the Roshan pit. Now it just gets picked up by Lone Druid, so not your anti-mage. He's got himself a Blade Mail on this hero, so very interesting.
Oh, you mean Bane?
No, Lone Druid.
Okay.
He's got himself Blade Mail, yeah.
Cool.
Something we haven't seen too often, yeah.
I don't think, I mean, it's one of those things where I can't remember what, it was the Tinker March to the, oh no, that was something different, it wasn't with Blade Mail, but like just going in March with Blade Mail, I mean, that can annoy Tinker a lot. He's throwing rockets, just pop the Blade Mail, chip away at him, force him back to Fountain to heal.
I think you're thinking about the 5 Blade Mail versus Sexy Bamboo Keeper.
Yeah, I actually I was thinking about something else with Necrobooks and Tinker.
Yeah.
Where Tinker March the Machine killed like 2 level 3 Necrobooks at the same time, and just Tinker died on full HP in the Fountain. But yeah, Tongfu, I mean, the item progression's there. They're still getting stronger and stronger. Their gold lead's still increasing, so in that sense, it's, hey, they're getting further and further ahead.
Yeah,
Butterfly for anti-mage.
And still back to the farm train they go.
Lumi, you sound annoyed.
I'm not annoyed. It's very easy to cast this game. It's just I have my mouse selected on anti-mage, and he's just farming. I don't even need a camera control anymore.
Yeah. You need to get like LD or Kevin to get up TI3 qualifiers on the other monitor.
I wish I can right now because
just click and drag anti-mage and then just
watch TI3 and look back here. Oh, still farming? Okay. I am a little bit annoying considering that this is a best of 5 and there is TI3 qualifier, which I very much want to watch.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not faulting you for being annoyed. I'm getting, I wouldn't say annoyed, but it's getting more drawn out than it needs to. It feels. I think Tongfu have finally decided. Maybe they want to go watch the TI3 West qualifiers as well.
I don't think they care about the TI3 West qualifiers at all.
They're invited, as is Zenith. Alright, well, Glyph gets forced out very easily. So this is all Tongfu need to do. Just force out Glyphs, send the anti-mate with the Spirit Bed to the high ground.
You know, this is actually very smart from Tinker. This is an item we haven't talked about. Scythe going on Banana. Tinker got himself a E-Blade. He's actually just straight up E-Blading the bear or on anti-mage. Just nuking them and preventing them attack.
The Urn Spam coming out to heal up the Spirit Pair. All these Urn charges that he stocked up all game long coming to good use. And now Raxus get worked away on. Brought down so fast with the Empower down.
Blade Mail being used on King J right now. Blink forward and bash, slammed. And there's a grip on use on Ice, invisibility not helping out Force Staff. And that's another Grand Slam on the Anti-Mage. Double kill. Race is being broken. Oh, that's a 2-man RP. Right click. Again, RP being stolen. He's on top of that thing. It doesn't matter. 3-man RP. Martian Machine show. The call down, Ice, right click, the buyback, doing a ton of work. The second call down, how's going to go down? Perhaps Manta, he's blinking back out. He's looking close to death. That 4th RP being stolen from Ice. Yes, he stole 4 RP. The 4th one doing some work though.
XY, he's on the run. He's the last line of defense. If he dies, it's over for Zenith. It looks like he will get to blink back to Fountain and buy some more time. Antimate can't really keep on pushing. He hasn't gone for that heart, so he doesn't have the HP regen. So just the bottom Raxus. It was a great hold from Zenith. The key thing there was, For the first time all game, when Ice has stolen RP, Gyrocopter was alive and was throwing out damage. Had the flat cannon up, was doing damage and forced Tongfu back. But Zenith, they still lose Raxes and they're still in a very hard
You know why
position.
that's the first time he was alive? Because he was able to buy back and it was in the base.
Yeah.
So it's still, I think Tongfu did the job, even though you know it didn't work out exactly winning the game-winning move for them. Tongfu played that team fight as perfectly as they could have. Very patient RP. You don't always have to initiate with them. And look at this anti-mage. We're 50 minutes in. He's been free farming away. It's still no ZSMJ record being broken. Only 550 creep kills. That's right. Live on ZSMJ.
25k gold lead, 22k,
25k gold lead.
23.
GPM 710.
We've got some beefy stats. We're probably not reaching. Well, the game's gone to. Oh, even with a 50-minute game, Antimage is still 700 plus
That's
GPM.
impressive. That's very impressive.
I guess he's not going to get much higher. Well, you don't want him getting higher because he's maxed out. You want the farm going to heroes who can actually buy items.
No, you want the GPM, man.
Or you want the Dagon 5 Courier. Can you go Dagon 5 Couriers in Dota 2?
You can. I think.
Yeah, the energy boosters work because like it's not like courier belongs to a person in Dota 2. It's like a communal courier. I don't know if like the energy booster actually gives the courier mana.
I don't think it does actually.
They need to fix that mechanic. Like that's a legitimate gameplay mechanic in Dota 1.
I think courier losing the courier shield makes it less viable. But in any case, blink, slam. Yamate dead, easy. Next.
I want my Dagon 5 couriers.
Well, that's GG. That's game 1, guys. 4 more of these games coming your way.
Outro.
Maybe not just outro yet. We gotta see this end game screen.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, not the most exciting end. I mean, you get these games every now and then, whether it's with your Eastern Dota, your Western Dota.
You know,
Every now and then a team just decides let's play ultra safe, and Tongfu, a team probably more guilty of this than other teams.
I thought the game was actually very exciting. Who just drops 2 RP on the empty ground. It was really good play on the Magnus early on. It was good rotation, good tri lane from Zenith. It's just that 80-minute farming phase, it felt like, and that was kind of it. So Tongfu will take game number 1. This is the AMD Premier League Grand Final Best of 5 series. And of course, there's a couple more of these games coming your way. I'm Luminous. He is BTS Gods. We'll be back. We'll be back soon.